What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 585 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's KB coming at you from Underground Studios, and joining me like he does every Sunday night on these Monday episodes by the time you guys are listening to them, the People's Champ, the host with the most, Mr. Patty Pitts, who's ready for hockey season.
I'm ready for anything that's not Patriots football season. I refuse to wear any football attire right now. I know that's kind of what my segment is based off of, but guess what? It's nonsense. That's basically how I feel right now after watching both my teams play today. My team in the morning. I don't know. I just let's move on to other sports and grander things.
It is.
This is really it.
Mid-November, and the Patriots are dead.
Dude, 6 feet under. Just so
with arms wide open.
No, they're shut. I would love to play along here and sing, but no. They are bad. They're in timeout. I can't stand my football team.
We do owe the people, this was not publicized on the pod, but it was in our text messages. We owe the people some Creed karaoke. Because
it will happen.
Last week we forgot to have the eulogy of Snake's dead. So we'll have that at the end of the pod as the Rangers won the World Series. Obviously, old news, but we still got to pour one out for the dead Snakes.
Absolutely.
Eagles were on a bye, so it was a stress-free Sunday in the Philadelphia, South Jersey, and Delaware areas. Got to just take in the rest of the league, and man, I have some takes on the NFL.
You got let down.
We'll talk some NFL. We'll talk some NBA as the Sixers win again tonight as we record this Sunday night. Tyrese Maxey is the truth. The truth. The truth is on fire. We'll talk some Flyers hockey. We'll get a little brink bonk bump because it was excessive bonk hours this week on the internet.
Right across the head. Just doink. All of you out there, you sick
sickos.
People.
You sickos.
Sick.
And we'll just have some fun like we always do. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, at UndergroundPHI. You can follow Pitsy on Twitter at Pat_Pitts. You can follow me at KBIZZL311. Subscribe to the podcast feed on Apple, Spotify, or wherever the heck you decide to get your podcast in audio form. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow and hit new milestones, helps us do more dope stuff like we have planned coming up in the next month or so. A little hashtag up to something season on the way. So go subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and got to give a shout out to the boys. Once again, the Top Ends boys keep making the charts all around the world. They're like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. They, this week, are still currently in the top 100 on the Apple Podcast soccer charts in Greece, and they were on the Apple Podcast charts in Greece for all of sports this week as well. So shout out to the Top Ends boys.
I wish I knew some Greek, but I don't. It's all Greek to me.
They were number 210 on the Greek sports chart.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Damn good.
Get them to the Greek. So go subscribe. And then, of course, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. We're really close to some more milestones. We're 76 subscribers away. Shout out to the Sixers from 700. We're trying to get there before Thanksgiving, so let's make that happen. Let's have something to be thankful for. Go subscribe. It's where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, every show on our network. Live streams. We have a live stream coming up on Tuesday night Big collabo. It's the ultimate team up event. It is Get in the Hole meets F1 Underground meets Streamer Season, as we have the Netflix Cup, which is the Drive to Survive F1 drivers playing golf against the Full Swing boys.
That is the
Teams,
most.
it's gonna be
That's like
awesome.
that's a hell of a team up event. I mean,
Live streamed on Netflix Tuesday night. It's gonna be awesome.
That's the equivalent of the That's So Sweet Life of Hannah Montana right there. That's talk about your
big time
crossover,
collab.
man.
Very excited for that. Tuesday night, exclusively on the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. So go subscribe. And of course, this show is presented by the City of Vineland, and the City of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. Through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems, who just re-upped with us once again. They have been one of our proud sponsors since the jump. They have been supporting us since year one. And Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. Pitsy, the NFL. It's brought to you by our pals at PHI Apparel Company, our exclusive merch partners. You want to stand out in the crowd? I saw the Marvels this week. We have a full-on review on the most recent episode of Streamer Season. You know what I was wearing? My Underground Sports Philadelphia hoodie, because it is that comfortable. It's that warm. It's perfect hoodie season weather. Get your hoodies. We got some stuff hopefully dropping before Black Friday so that you guys can gear up, get some new merch from us. We're working on some new things as well for the holiday season. You want to stand out in the crowd at the Link, at the Wells Fargo Center, at the bar, the local watering hole, or just hanging out with your friends and fam? PHI Apparel Company is going to help you do that. Go to phiapparel.co. Use code UNDERGROUND for 10% off any and all merch orders. Most effective way to support us monetarily. Tag us when you get your merch. Show us your merch. Flex that merch. We want to see where you're rocking it from. That's phiapparel.co. Code UNDERGROUND. 10% off your order. Birds were on a bye this week, so it was a nice little put my feet up and just have 7 hours of uninterrupted commercial-free football starts now. Shout out Sky Hansen. Dream guest for this pod, obviously. We mentioned that in the last episode. So the Eagles, we got to kick back, kind of look at playoff scenarios and watch some of these teams do their thing. Didn't go our way in a lot of instances, though. In some ways it did, some ways it didn't. The Jaguars absolutely shit the bed against the 49ers. The Lions end up winning, which I was fine with because I placed a responsible wager on the Lions minus 2.5, so them to win was great for me and my wallet.
There you go.
The Giants were a joke. We'll talk about them later on. But the Seahawks came through and beat the Commanders, which was nice. But otherwise, a very weird week 10 of the NFL. Bears-Panthers, that should have been the omen that this was going to be a weird week because that was the Thursday night game.
Yeah.
I'm working with a theory that the Thursday night game kind of sets the tone for what type of week it's going to be in the NFL.
That's a good little thought process to have, especially with how awful the Thursday night game was, to the point where I'll be honest with you, Kyle, I didn't watch it. We had work the next morning. Needed to get up that early, and
but
then
you know who did watch it?
Who?
9.6 million Americans, which was 0.5 more million Americans than those who watched the World Series.
Dude, that's such a kick in the dick to the MLB that people would rather watch a randomized matchup of the Bears and Panthers over your, quote unquote, best game of the year. Like championship game decides the ultimate winner of the league that season, and you can't muscle up more viewers than Jim McMahon 2.0 versus Bryce Young and that whatever travesties going on in Carolina. That's wow. That's bad.
You know what
That's
the MLB
bad.
ratings were asking?
What?
Can you take
Take
me
me
higher to a place where blind men see? Let's go there. Let's go there. Can you take me higher? Dude, one of the few times I'll shout out the Texas Rangers. One, for beating that joke of a team, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Snakes
How do
dead.
you feel?
The fact that they use Creed as their rallying cry song, and now Creed's going on tour next year. What a reunion
They
tour!
kickstarted the tour. They
They took Creed higher
They did with that.
to a place where blind men see.
You have to have at least one Texas Ranger guy, at least like per state, or when you're in Texas, come out and sing with them. You have to.
It's insane.
It's for the clip.
Shout out Creed.
Who doesn't like Creed? Like, who
Valid.
doesn't? I actually, fun fact, cleared out a bar with my performance of Creed. I sang with arms wide open.
With arms wide open.
I sang that at karaoke at Sissy K's in Boston, and I had the entire downstairs floor go to the bathroom, go to the bar, like just complete no reaction. And the one way that got everyone back was a dude who went 2 people after me sang Crazy Rap by Afro Man and got everybody in the place singing again. And it was hell of a turn of events. I'll tell you that.
Have you seen the TikTok of I'm gonna send this to you because this video is just unbelievable. And I need your just genuine on-screen reaction. I'm texting it to you right now. It's this guy who did a duet and like sings Creed, and it's the greatest thing ever. I need Creed to bring this guy out on stage with them on their tour. Because
I've seen him. Oh man, well that's just impressive, that feat of the dude with the ice.
Gets better.
Yes. Can you take me higher to an element of surprise?
What the?
That was a surprise to me because that wasn't in the original video I watched.
Oh my god. That shocked
I
me.
love that video though of that guy singing Creed side by side with the ice just getting shattered.
Oh my god. And then my head gets shattered to that Nerf gun.
But the NFL was quite the trip this week. Comebacks and upsets galore. And I don't know about you, Pitts. I've seen a number of people start talking about this, and I'm kind of on the same train. It was cool when the NFL did the one-off going to London every year. Like the one game over there was kind of like a unique little sweet treat, as the kids say. But now the fact that we're doing it every week, and now we're going to Germany every week. No offense to everybody in Europe that wants to see the NFL. It's lost the allure in my book.
Oh, see, I completely disagree. I love it.
It is like they schedule the worst games. The players hate doing it for the most part because of the travel. Your body gets banged up. It's tougher to recover. It's not great for the health wise of your players. I'm just so I'm over the 9 a.m. football.
See, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here because for the fan, it is probably one of the best things you could do business wise. One, you have early morning football, which you're going to get people to watch earlier in the morning, easier transition into the pregame, and then all day. Then you're globalizing your sport to make it, that much more popular, to eventually maybe even having an international NFL team and having the NFL.
If I'm gonna stop, if they do an international NFL team, they're doing too much.
No, like not team that plays in the NFL. I'm saying like leagues, like NFL sister brother leagues
But
in
see,
these
we did
countries.
that before, and it flopped massively.
Yeah, but with
NFL
you
Europe
could do
was a
it
thing.
different now. It was a thing, but you could do it so different now. It's more popular. They did a time where it was just like, all right, this is football. It's like, the hell? I mean, that's like putting a cricket team in America. It's not going to go well, but if you introduce it slowly with these premium events that you go to that happen once a year, and then slowly do that over time, you get more and more eyes on it, build stars for the people. I mean, there's a reason why you have Pat Mahomes and going to Germany now instead of having to go to London. That's a new country you want to get into, have your biggest star. I see the big brain business side of it, which if done correctly could be a very good idea.
I just feel like we're shoving football down everyone's throats, and we're getting oversaturated with football. Not even just NFL, like all these spring leagues that have reshaped up and come back, and now the USFL and the XFL are merging together, and it's like, can we just breathe for 20 seconds and relax? Like, I just feel like it's so much, and like,
Yeah,
I can confidently tell you, I've watched one NFL Europe game in the run that the NFL's gone back to London or Germany, and it's when the Eagles played the Jaguars in 2018 or whatever it was, because it was my team playing, and I had to be up to watch it. Other than that, it's Sunday. I am not waking up. No offense to you, there was no way in hell I was waking up the ass crack of dawn to watch Colts Patriots in Germany.
Yeah. No, yeah.
There's
I'll
no
agree
need for
there.
that.
I'll agree there because the Patriots suck ass, and
The Colts
as
aren't
someone
much
who,
better.
no, they're not. That's the problem. And usually it is a legendary matchup between those teams from what it was years ago. So you try to bring that award back, and it's just not. I mean, for
Bears
Gardner
Panthers
Minshew,
outscored Colts Patriots by
stop. That's
almost
so
double.
dumb. That is just fucking nonsense, dude.
It's
Like,
29 points were scored Thursday Night Football. 16 points were scored in the Germany game today.
well, they just ran the ball up the middle 11,000 times. I kept going up and down stairs, and my dad was just watching it because we're watching two different floors. And he was like, they're just going to keep running it, run up the middle. That's all they're going to do. It's like, yeah, that's all they know how to do with that bullshit offense led by, senior.
Wasn't Billy O supposed to be the savior?
Don't even fucking get me started. Don't you sit here.
Yo, shout
Really
out
talking about
to friend of the program, Sarah Griffin. She's an Eagles fan now. She has converted and come over to the side that has cookies and fun. But she posted the clip of Bill O'Brien yelling at Mac Jones and said, "My dad yelling at me trying to help me with my math homework in 4th grade."
That's actually what it felt like. That was a disappointed parent telling his kid why they have to do their homework or why they have to sit quietly in church or something just absolutely ridiculous. And that's what it felt like, dude. I can't keep going with this Mac Jones facade. Like, for God's sakes, even I traded him in my own Patriots franchise that I do in Madden. I have no faith in the dude. No one in Patriots Nation should have faith in this dude. I don't care how bad the offense is, but there were some throws today, man, where if he just threw it a little higher or,
A little higher.
I knew that was coming as soon as I said it. Or even just
To a place where blind men see.
Dude, this blind man yeeted it so far away from where everybody could see. I like the interception. It was the pass to Hunter Henry in the end when they were in the red zone, and he underthrew him so terribly. And then a couple other throws to end the game. Like there was one throw where it was almost intercepted and you just overthrew him. The dude is just not it. All right. And I've been saying this for so long and no one wants to listen to the champ. However, when a champ speaks, you listen. So listen to this. Baker Mayfield needs to be the next quarterback of the New England Patriots.
Y'all got to draft a quarterback.
No, fuck the draft. I'm so sick of this draft because look what the quarterback situation has brought through the draft in the past few years right now. Trevor Lawrence stinks. Trey Lance is irrelevant. Justin Fields is on his, next year for the 4th time.
Yeah, but look at CJ Stroud, proving everybody wrong.
That's one. That's one out of how many were drafted over the past 2 years?
Hey, we got Jalen Hurts in 2020. The second round.
Okay, 2 years. So, yeah, in 21, I'm saying from when the Patriots. Like, not Jalen Hurts.
So you need quarterbacks drafted since 2021?
Yes. Because that's where my mind is. I'm not going, in the past 5 years. Because that's...
All right, so 2021 had 8 quarterbacks taken in the first 3 rounds.
Okay.
It's Trevor Lawrence, mid.
Ass.
Zach Wilson, terrible.
Ass.
Trey Lance, irrelevant.
Ass.
Justin Fields.
Ass.
I think his situation is more ass than he is.
Some could say the same thing about Mac Jones.
Mac Jones,
ass.
Kyle Trask.
Kellen
Mond.
Who?
And then Davis Mills.
Davis Mills is the best quarterback out of that entire group. Quote me on that. I'm dead serious.
And
Davis Mills is the best quarterback out of that group.
Your 2022 quarterbacks, these are pretty bad.
Right.
These are pretty bad. Malik Willis. I think you're muted.
I moved my mic. I mean, my wire.
Sam Howell.
Ass.
Yes. Desmond Ridder.
Riddler's a better quarterback than he is.
Kenny Pickett.
Ass with 2 gloves.
Matt Corral.
No, not even.
Carson Strong.
Nope.
Bailey Zappi.
Ass.
Brock Purdy.
Why is Brock Purdy the best? And what round was he in? Oh, I'm sorry. He was Mr. Irrelevant. So the best quarterback in the past 2 drafts has been the Mr. Irrelevant pick.
And Skylar Thompson was also drafted in 2022.
Great. Point taken. Point to me that the draft does not prove anything. Go out and get a 29-year-old Baker Mayfield. He'll play for 5 seasons.
Hey, I gotta say, 2023 class though, not too shabby from what we've seen. This is 2023. Bryce Young, I don't think his situation is the best. He's got a bad coach.
I'm not going to call him ass.
He's in a shitty situation right now.
Yeah, I'm not. No.
CJ Stroud looks incredible.
Yeah, the anomaly.
Anthony Richardson was looking kind of nice before he got hurt.
Yeah, jury's still out on him.
Not
going to say anything. Jury's still out.
Will Levis hasn't been terrible.
I just don't like the Titans. I just think that they're just so mid, and he
also is not in like the most ideal situation.
That's what I'm saying. He's just like,
but like he hasn't looked bad.
He threw 4 touchdowns the other night, like the other week. I mean,
Hendon Hooker, Goff's backup.
That's Tennessee guy. Yeah, he's like cool. I don't have an opinion on him.
He was good in college, and then he got hurt in college. That's why he was.
Yeah, but he's a backup to Goff. Like there's been no reason for him to go in and prove anything yet.
Aiden O'Connell, Raiders' new starter.
I mean, the dude is 3 points in 1 half of Sunday Night Football. So,
Stetson Bennett, he's 29. Stetson Bennett is the ideal Patriot quarterback.
No, shut up. Just shut. No, I'm not going into that.
Tell me
narrative.
I'm wrong.
No, Baker Mayfield. That's who I want. If there's anyone who understands the troubles that Mac Jones has gone through and
Dorian
proved that he's
Thompson,
better,
Dorian Thompson Robinson,
he's not
good.
bad either.
I
mean,
Max Duggan, Eagles drafted Tanner McKee.
These are just names. You were just throwing out random names.
Tanner McKee looked kind of good in the preseason, not going to lie. A lot of people say he should have taken over second-string quarterback duties from Marcus Mariota.
I think anyone else should be quarterback over Marcus Mariota, but no, I go get Baker Mayfield free agent and then go draft a tackle and Marvin Harrison Jr. and then you already have
looking at
a
Tankathon
leg up.
right now because things are shifting a bit. Right now, the Bears via the Panthers have the number 1 pick, being Caleb Williams, which I don't know if I would want Caleb Williams right now.
No, I want nothing to do with Caleb Williams.
The Giants would now have the number 2 pick.
They would draft a quarterback.
They have them drafting Drake May, which I don't know how that fits because they just gave Daniel Jones the bag.
Yeah, but Daniel Jones proved to not be the guy. Well, I don't know.
He's not that guy, pal. He's not.
He's not. But are you really gonna? If you're the Giants, you're really gonna go through that again? You have to. So.
Number 3 is the Cardinals. They have them taking Marvin Harrison Jr., which I hope God does not happen because
why
my boy deserves better than going to play for Jonathan Gannon.
I wouldn't even. I'm not even trying to say this is a biased Patriots fan that wants Marvin Harrison Jr. What sense does that make for the Cardinals to go get him? The Cardinals should be like that. Makes no sense.
I think
for the Cardinals to upgrade a position like
I think it's one because the 2 quarterbacks that are the consensus like best in the draft go before them, but I think this is also pegging in a potential factor that Kyler Murray stays in Arizona.
If you're the Cardinals, how do you keep Kyler Murray in your organization? What they lost today, right?
No, they won, those bums.
It
I don't
was
want
2
Jonathan
points, right?
Gannon to ever see happiness, and Arthur Smith should not have a job.
Arthur Smith not having a job is just straight nepotism. Like, he's just coasting.
The number 4 pick belongs to your New England Patriots, Pitsy.
Yeah, they should be drafting either a Marvin Harrison Jr. or a tackle, and I refuse to say agree with any other decision.
Right now, Tankathon, shout out to the homies over there, have you still taking Brock Bowers.
Who's that?
The tight end from Georgia.
Why are we taking a tight end? Why would we? What sense does that make? All the problems that we have, it's like, oh, let's draft a tight end. How we already have 2 of them that are better than the offense. Why add a rookie in there? Why not add what? That is the stupidest.
It's also very funny because right after that, it's the Bears and the Packers, and they both are pegged to take offensive tackles.
Now, okay, here's my thing. Tankathon, I don't want to come at them right at their necks. But are they going off base? Is it projections because of draft history? Like the Patriots would just draft one there because they have no idea what they're doing? Or is it actual serious analysis? Because the serious analysis makes no sense.
Team needs are factored into the mock, but it's not necessarily the end all be all.
Yeah,
I think it's just based on like with the 2 quarterbacks going. That's why the Cardinals take Marvin Harrison Jr. and stuff like that.
I just don't agree. If they take a tight end, I will literally blow my brains to Mars. That. I can't with this team, man. I can't.
Has the Bucks taken a quarterback, so that may work out for you taking Brock Bowers, and then you have Baker Mayfield throwing the ball to him.
But Baker needs a legit star.
Look at every star. I'll tell you that much. From Howie Roseman drafting Georgia boys, the Philly Dogs, get your shirts. Philly Dogs, PHI apparel. Brock Bowers is a legitimate star.
Yeah, but we have tight ends that are fine for the system, and there's no need to upgrade that position. You have wide receivers that it's basically a wasteland of depth at that wasteland of depth. I can't. There needs to be change in the Patriots organization, and there's just no change at all. And the fact that I'm sitting here saying that there needs to be
I
change,
think they
is a
also have
problem.
you taking Brock Bowers because Hunter Henry's a free agent after the year.
But like, I
think.
don't care. It's still like, it's re-sign him or get another tight end. Like, trade for Kyle Pitts at this point.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Dude, you need to like trade for Kyle Pitts because there's nothing else that they're gonna do for him in Atlanta that you couldn't do for him up here. And then if you sign Baker, then it's a cheap contract. You put all that money towards, like, there's a lot you can do here. And you're just not doing it because you're stuck in your old ways. Like, it's
Hey, at least we know Bill's still horny.
dude, he was actually in the running for my bonk of the week, but
We'll talk
we
about
booted
that
him.
later in the show.
we moved him.
Rest of the NFL roundup. Now that I let Pitts air his grievances and his sign.
Dude, it's oh my god, dude. I envy you. I understand now. I empathize with all my peeps that are not New England Patriots fans. What you experienced for years, or at least a taste of it, with how we're playing right now, because how watching other teams like the Eagles, the Chiefs, the
what
Lions.
you're going through right now was 2012 for me. The last
it's
year of
fucking
Andy Reid.
frustrating.
It was terrible.
It's so frustrating, dude, because they could be so good, and they're just not doing anything about it. Like at all.
Speaking of the Eagles, former Eagles special teams coordinator and head coach of the Ravens, they choked today, and the Browns beat them 33-31 when they were up like by multiple scores. Ridiculous. The Steelers beat the Packers 23-19. We got a 23-19.
23-19.
We have a 23-19. We gotta make that a thing.
That's a has-been.
Anytime that's like our scoregami. Anytime there's a 23-19, we just gotta tweet the clip of George.
It's my dude. That's all-time favorite Pixar movie. That is an all-time clip too.
We have a 23-19, 23-19.
23-19.
Shout out to CDA. Steelers though might be the dumbest team in football.
Yeah,
they have been outscored and outgained, or not outscored. They've been outgained
in yards
in every game this year.
They're 6-3,
and they're 6-3.
Shout out Mike Tomlin. Honestly, like that. That's the difference.
People who try to talk shit on Mike Tomlin are crazy. He's one of the best coaches in the NFL history.
Don't allow it. As much as I may or may not like the Steelers, depending on the day, you cannot argue with the success that Mike Tomlin has had and the shit that he's had to go through to still maintain it. It's insane.
So good. Like I mentioned, the 49ers beat the Jaguars 34-3. Vikings beat the Saints 27-19. We saw Jameis Winston in that game. That was like a battle of mid. Josh Dobbs, #good.
I would kill for Josh Dobbs to be the Patriots quarterback right now. Like dirty things.
CJ Stroud, rookie of the year, ?
Yeah, at this point, the way the Texans are playing, it's
They
insane.
win 30-27, back-to-back comeback wins for them.
Shout out Tank Dell.
He's so good.
Great
I
name.
love Tank Dell.
Great name.
I love Tank Dell. Do you know his real first name?
Oh, it's not Tank. Unfortunately, it's not Tank. Darn.
D-Rats.
Wait, that's
No. Do you know his real name?
Oh, I thought you were about to say his name was DeRats. No, what's his name?
Could you imagine? Nathaniel. Good job on him by going by Tank.
No, that's cooler. That's so you can't no. Nathaniel is a very just very vanilla name. Tank is I'm an NFL player and I score touchdowns.
Yes. He's so fun. The Texans receivers as a whole are very fun. Nico Collins.
Texans are fun.
That was the most exciting Texans Bengals game ever.
Oh, easily.
That was traditionally your Saturday at noon wild card matchup. We've come a long way.
We've came a long way to having that game be a banger. It's nice.
Bucks beat the Titans 20-6.
Shout out Baker Mayfield.
Lions beat the Chargers 41-38. How Brandon Staley still has a job at this point blows my mind.
My Motor City Kitties, baby.
How Brandon
Find a way to
Staley
win.
has a job is crazy.
Yeah, I don't.
How do you predicate yourself as a defensive coach and you still have a job the way that you coach? I'm sorry.
It's so sad because the Chargers could be so good without him.
Mm-hmm.
If you would have asked me what is one thing holding back the Chargers from being a legit contender, it is their head coach. I thought Kellen Mond should be the head coach. Not Kellen Mond, Kellen Moore. Sorry, you put KM whatever.
Can I fancy you in a list, Pitsy?
Oh, I love lists. Yeah.
Here's a fun list from CBS Sports.
Incredible.
Jason Lockenford, to be exact.
Okay.
Back in the year of our Lord 2021.
Mm-hmm.
NFL head coaches that were hired in 2021. This is how he ranked them. Ready? Number 1, Brandon Staley. Number 2, Urban Meyer. Number 3, Nick Sirianni. Number 4, Dan Campbell. Number 5, Arthur Smith. Number 6, Bob Salah, because I refuse to call him Robert. Number 7, David Culley. And those were your 7. He was the one and done for the Texans.
That the dude with the... Oh, no, that was Lovie Smith. That was the beard.
He was the old guy. The old guy that was their coach for a year, and then they fired him for Lovie.
That's terrible. To have Urban Meyer, too, over Nick Sirianni and Dan Campbell, may be the most laugh out loud aspect of that.
And Sports Illustrated also had a list like this. Grading the coaches.
Oh, I'm waiting for it.
With a grade of an A, Bob Salah.
Jury's still out on that. I'll give Bob Salah. You know, I want to be.
He's not that guy, pal. He's not. No,
I don't know. The Jets are a lot better coached and better than the Patriots right now. That pained me to say. I felt like I just took a shot to the chest saying the Jets are a better team than the Patriots.
With a grade of an A-, Brandon Staley. With a grade of a B+, Arthur Smith. With a grade of a B, Urban Meyer. With a grade of a B-, Nick Sirianni. With a grade of a C+, Dan Campbell.
Sports Illustrated don't know ball.
And with a grade of a D+, David Culley.
Yeah, that's fine. Dan Campbell got a C+.
And Sirianni got a B-, which are effectively the same grades.
I know that. Shout out to my schooling history. So, I have a problem with that for the sheer fact that they don't know what they're talking about. And you can tell by the results of that. If you look at the only 2 coaches there that I would say of stature are Nick Sirianni and Dan Campbell. Those 2 teams right now, in my opinion, are the 2 best teams in the NFL. I mean, it's insane, those lists. And the fact that Brandon Staley is the top of those and where the Chargers are and where they could be, it's just embarrassing.
It's crazy that people freaked out so much about Nick Sirianni's introductory press conference.
It was a bad look.
And claimed that he was going to be a bad coach simply based off of one press conference. And look at him now. I don't know if... Can you name 5 other head coaches you would rather have coaching your team than Nick Sirianni?
Dan Campbell.
I don't think so. I'd rather have Sirianni.
I'm thinking.
But
I'd rather Dan Campbell.
I think they're kind of in the same...
It just depends on the type of coaching style. Like, I want...
Like, I view that, like, if you're looking at a tier list, Dan Campbell and Sirianni are in the same tier for me.
Yeah, same tier. Dan Campbell. I've worked around my best working days in whatever job I was in, or when I had a Dan Campbell type of leader. And I kind of have one now, so I would agree there.
I don't know if I would take any coach in the NFL right now over Sirianni.
Only
Like-
one I can think of right now is Dan Campbell.
Like,
And I don't even want Belichick.
Sirianni has led the Eagles to franchise records for a team that's been around since 1933. They've gone 8-1 in back-to-back seasons for the first time in franchise history.
That's wild.
Like, sure, it starts with the players on the field, but they also got to be coached well. If you're not coached well, you're not doing that. Sirianni is an unbelievable coach, fits this city perfectly, and the fact that he continues to get disrespected and gets zero. Do you find it, as an outsider looking in, do you find it wild that Nick Sirianni does not get anywhere near the notoriety he should in terms of Coach of the Year mentions?
Mentions, yes. I was also going to say
Not saying that he should win, but whenever people bring up Coach of the Year, especially this year, they don't even mention Nick Sirianni. The team has the best fucking record in the NFL. We're not mentioning that as Coach of the Year candidate.
Now, do you think that's because the Eagles have just been consistently good, and when you go for Coach of the Year, you want to find a coach that's brought a team from the ashes?
But it's so weird that we look at it that way for Coach of the Year. But when it comes to MVP, it's always just whoever the best quarterback was. Which I don't think should be the case.
Quarterback, that's a whole other discussion that I saw you and Matt talk about, is how it's really became a quarterback dominant award.
AJ Peterson was the last non-quarterback to win. And that was in 2012. It's been a decade.
Yeah, and there needs to be change there. If Tyreek Hill hits 2,000 yards, he absolutely should be.
The
MVP.
fact that Cooper Kupp didn't win the MVP when he hit the Triple Crown is crazy.
That's another mind-boggling one. Tyreek Hill is my, I think, pick this year that should win it.
If he and AJ Brown both eclipse 2,000 yards, they should at least be nominated.
Oh, whoever, I don't care who hits 2,000 yards. Whoever hits 2,000 yards needs to be at least close to winning. I would fuck it. Should win. They absolutely should win. I don't know why we're even having this conversation. This is different league now. Offense is reliant on wide receivers, not like how it used to be, where it was the quarterbacks that did the work. I mean, look at quarterbacks now and how dependent they are on their star wideouts. Mac Jones is a good quarterback. Yeah, right. It's just I don't know. I'm going on tangents, but pretty much.
I'm going to pull up the odds here for Coach of the Year just to tickle my fancy and just see where things are sitting right now, because I do find it interesting. All right, so they don't even have them listed on here, of course. But you know what I do love? I bet on AJ Brown to be MVP at plus 25,000 odds, and right now he's plus 7,500.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. But I do find it weird that Nick Sirianni just doesn't get any type of recognition for how good of a fucking coach he is.
No.
The rest of... Here we go. NFL Coach of the Year odds. Let's take a look. This is as of 6 days ago. Right now, it is Nick Sirianni's at plus 1,400 odds, tied with Kevin O'Connell of the Minnesota Vikings and Robert Saleh of the New York Jets.
That's no.
In front of those three, Mike McDaniel of the Miami Dolphins at plus 450.
Yeah.
D'Amico Ryans at plus 400. And
Is
who
that
I
the Texans
think,
coach?
yeah.
Okay, then yeah.
And who I think should win it at plus 210, Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell absolutely should win Coach of the Year this year. Not even close. That's not.
But the fact that Sirianni's doesn't even get mentioned in the same breath as Dan Campbell, D'Amico, Mike McDaniel. Even I feel like we talk about Robert Saleh as Coach of the Year more than Nick Sirianni. It's crazy.
Yeah, and Salad's sitting at a nice 4-4 record.
Yeah.
That will be 5-4 after tonight. Like,
Well, I'm remains to be seen. He's only up by 3 at halftime.
I don't have any faith in the Raiders. I have zero faith in the Raiders. So,
But the Lions get a big win. The Cardinals, I never want Jonathan Gannon to experience happiness, yet they win today 25-23. But on the flip side, I spin zoned it. He won't experience happiness because he won, so now he's worsening his odds of the Cardinals getting the number 1 overall pick. So fuck you, Jonathan Gannon. I don't want you to ever experience happiness in your life.
great spin zone. Great spin zone.
The Cowboys, the announcers on that game should be suspended for weeks because the dick riding they were doing for the Cowboys as they were playing the Tommy DeVito-led New York Giants was pathetic.
That's our king. Tommy DeVito is our king.
Let's talk a little bit. We'll talk Tommy DeVito in just a second, and then to wrap up, the Seahawks beat the Commanders 29-26. Thank you, Gino. Tommy DeVito was catching strays this week on the internet. It's brought to you by our pals at Security21 Security Systems, Patty Pitts, who just re-upped with us. They've been a long-time sponsor of Underground Sports Philadelphia and have supported us since the jump. They're a first-generation family-owned and operated security installation and service provider offering physical and electronic security and surveillance systems. Vince and Jerry Riley, owners of Security21, each have over 25 years of experience in the electronic security and cable television industries, and they founded the company all the way back in March of 2005. Check them out at homesecurity-site.com/security-21-LLC. Big shout out to them. They are the best. Tommy DeVito was catching strays for no good reason. People talking about him still living at home. Shout out. Look at us. We have something in common with an NFL quarterback.
That's pretty cool.
Look at that.
Both live in our parents' basements. We love it.
Look at that. Tommy DeVito is 25 years old. He was an undrafted free agent who would have never in his wild. He is living the record scratch life, where the record scratches, and he says, "You're probably wondering how I ended up here." That's what Tommy DeVito's doing. And I never like to stand up for an Eagles division rival. But Tommy DeVito deserves some respect. The amount of people clowning my man for still living at home and not understanding that him saying his mom still cooks for him and makes his bed and everything was clearly a joke. He was just playing into it. Was so tone deaf of people online.
If people just didn't get the whole fact that, I mean, he's living at home with his parents. He has those little perks that you get, and
right.
Maybe it's not the worst thing in the world because look how expensive it is to go out and live on your own right now.
And as somebody who lives in the state of New Jersey, and I enjoy living here, I live in South Jersey. Tommy DeVito is living in North Jersey. North Jersey it might as well be a different state than South Jersey. The cost of living in this country right now is ASA 9, ASA 10, ASA 11, ASA 12, and even ASA 13. My man is on a 1-year, $750,000 contract. Now, before you come for me in the comments or come for me if we post this as a clip, $750,000 is a lot of money for the normal common man, myself and Pat Pitts included. The things we could do with $750,000 is a lot. Also got to factor in taxes to that $750,000, which is probably about 40% of that, if not a little more. The cost of living everywhere is crazy. But you're talking about a kid who, and I say kid in the terms of athlete, he's 25, fresh out of college, is living in a New York sports market. That's going to be expensive.
That lifestyle doesn't fit the paycheck. It doesn't.
My man is being smart and calculated. He's trying to fulfill his dream of being an NFL quarterback at any level and doing the financially smart thing by not going and purchasing an expensive-ass apartment and paying crazy rent or buying a house that he's not going to be able to afford in 2 years. Living at home at age 20, there's nothing to be ashamed about that for. And there's
Not at
nothing
all.
to clown people for with that. Like, I'm fucking 30 years old and I still live with my parents. No shame, and thank goodness I have supportive-ass parents. Otherwise, I'd be Squidward begging for spare change in a box.
Yeah, I'll go the opposite of that, where I I live at home with my parents still, obviously. Um, it is I'm learning every day that I'm here that I am more of a service than a disservice to them with how much I do around the house for them. I mean, humble brag, we have a pool. My dad is 69 years old, trying to take care of that
Nice.
pool on his own. He is nice. It's a little too much for a man that age to be vacuuming a pool and taking care of it. And so that's how I pay my dues. And then, oh yeah, I live in New England. Our winters suck. How do you think they're going to shovel their way out? Not only shoveling the snow, but then the technology is like it's you pay your way in different ways, essentially. And it's at this stage in life, I feel like he's probably going through the same little trials and tribulations that we go through with our parents on needing help for things because technology is such a bitch. You know, he's definitely doing chores around the house too to help his parents. Like, it's little stuff like that where just because you are an NFL athlete or a professional athlete in general, it doesn't take away that it may be a good thing for the family that you're home, because you don't know everybody's living situation.
It was also just weird that like, quote unquote, news that he lives at home still made its way to the public via Adam Schefter. Like, I love Shefty, but like, what are we doing?
Slow news day. That's a slow news day.
So yeah, shout out Tommy DeVito. He's doing his best. The poor kid like got absolutely mutilated by the Cowboys today, and that's no fault of his own, really. It's Brian Dable might be the most overrated former coach of the year winner. You want to talk about a joke? The Giants are a fucking joke again. Same old Giants. Whip out the Wii remotes and start doing your scouting, just like Dave Gettleman used to do, you fucking clowns. It's so funny to me how the Giants fans are so delusional and just don't realize that last season was the anomaly to what the Giants truly are.
There's less than mid. That's just how I describe them. There's no flavor. There's no spice around them where you feel like they're going to be a contender. You
The
know what
Giants'
they are
idea of spices, salt
every
and
year.
pepper.
Every year, it's the same thing. It's the same thing, dude. Just basic ass salts.
Terrible. Pitsy, are you ready for some power rankings?
Yeah.
I'm going to give Pitts the stage. But before we
All right.
do, it's brought to you by our pals over at Dubby Energy. Keeping Pitsy energized, keeping me energized. They just released, and I think it may be out of stock already. They did one pallet of this flavor, Pitts. Pomegranate Rose Blossom.
That's a mouthful.
Fancy stuff. I'm going to double check here. No, it is still available. It's a limited time release for Black Friday. It's called Palm Blossom. You can get it now, but once it's gone, it's gone. Go to w.gg, check out the Palm Blossom, check out the new Hydro Hydrations. They've got a tub bundle too, Pitsy. You save $10 on that.
Tub bundle
for the Pineberry Splash and the Watermelonada, which is the watermelon lemonade, which I know you're excited about.
I gotta get that.
And Pitsy, they also have steel tumblers available.
Ooh, that's enticing.
They also release Blossom tees and hoodies to commemorate the new flavor. Plus, they've got the originals, the Dragonade, the OG flavor, delicious. The Big Energy Tears, delicious. That's the blue raspberry flavor. They got the Beach and Peach, which I've got in the studio right here. It's my personal fave. And they've got the Calio Cream, which is the orange creamsicle, and the Galaxy Grenade, which is Pitsy's personal favorite.
That was my favorite.
So go to w.gg, clean up your energy game. It's all natural energy, coffee, fruit, caffeine, and They're going no jitters, no crash. Keeps Pitsy going throughout the day. Keeps me going when I'm editing and up late and need a little boost. And all of their shakers now made in the U.S. of A. W.GG. Use code Underground for 10% off your order. That's W.GG. Use code Underground for 10% off your order. Pitsy, the floor is yours. You tell me when to hit your music.
All right, it is time for Patty Pitts' Week 10 Power Rankings. Kyle, you can hit my music. NFL fans, all right, shout out to you. Round of applause for you for waking up to that monstrosity of a Germany game into a Sunday night game, or ending, with a Sunday night game of Jets Raiders, and then you had to start the week with Bears Panthers. You power through it. That's strength. Okay, so you make it at number 10. Number 9, the Cowboys, just because you swept the Giants. Good for you. You deserve to be on the list. I'll give you a 9, but you're not going any higher than that. Number 8, Hollywood. Big week for Hollywood. The writers are back. The actors are back, which means John Cena is out of the WWE and making movies again. Hollywood's so back, and we love to hear that if you are a member of the Pitts family. Number 7, the Vikings. Josh Dobbs making this Vikings team have a great season, or decent season, with Kirk Cousins being out for the year. Could they sneak into a wild card spot? At this point, anything is effing possible. Number 6, Seahawks. You beat the Commanders, which helps us out down in Eagles country. So if you beat the Commanders, division loss, up in division, you know how it works. Number 5, the Bucks. Dude, Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans might be one of the most underrated combinations in the NFC right now, and the fact that Baker Mayfield could be leading the Bucks to a playoff just solidifies my point that the Patriots should just listen to me at this point and not do whatever they're doing, because it's not working. I'll say it again, militia greater than Patriots. Number 4, Texans. CJ Stroud. Wow, man. Talk about breaking molds. The fact that Texans are fun and relevant again, I didn't think I'd ever see it again in my lifetime. So shout out you. Number 3, the 49ers just absolutely mollywopping the Jaguars and making Handsome Shrek look like an absolute buffoon. With that pose as he threw the pick 6 just on the ground like that, that's just Trevor Lawrence season in a nutshell. Number 2, the Celtics. Why? Because there's no other reason why. The Celtics are the balls, all right? Winning 2 straight. They're the best Boston sports team right now that I want to root for. And then number 1, it's my Motor City Kitties, baby! Getting the win at SoFi Stadium. Jack Fox kicking it through. Dan Campbell, Coach of the Year. Lions-Eagles NFC Championship game is what we all want here in the Underground, and you should want it too.
Run that list back for the people. Give us 10 through 1.
10 through 1, we got the NFL fans, 9 Cowboys, 8 Hollywood, 7 Vikings, 6 Seahawks, 5 Bucks, 4 Texans, 3 Niners, 2 Celtics, and 1 Detroit Lions.
So there it is. It's Patty Pitts' Power Rankings, brought to you by W Energy. Let's break in and put the layout back, because Pitsy, speaking of your Boston Celtics, let's talk some hoops. Yeah. It's real hooper hours right here on this episode, and it's brought to you by our pals over at Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. And you can get Kenwood Beer at the Wells Fargo Center. When you're watching the Sixers, when you're watching the Flyers, the Wings, who are on their way back in about a month at the Wells Fargo Center, Villanova basketball, Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Go to kenwoodbeer.com, use the Kenny Finder, see who's got Kenny's on tap or in liquor stores in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Pittsburgh, or Maryland areas. Got to be 21 or older to do so, and please drink responsibly. It's 4.1% ABV, just 120 calories, only 8 grams of carbs. Pitsy, you've had Kenny's.
Delicious. Delicious. I wish they had them in Massachusetts.
I'm sure they will. In
one
some
day,
point.
one day, one day.
The Sixers may be the hottest team in the NBA.
Oh, that's subjective.
They have won 8 games in a row after losing
Okay,
opening
maybe.
night by 1. They beat your Boston Celtics, Pitsy, on Wednesday night, 106-103, in one of the more entertaining Sixers-Celtics basketball games we've had in a long time.
That was a really good back and forth game. That was.
And they come out in winning fashion. They beat the Pistons in the in-season tournament game on Friday. And then they win tonight 137-126 against the Pacers as Tyrese, as Joel Embiid dubbed him, the franchise Maxey, goes and drops a 50-burger on the heads of the Pacers. Career high for Mr. Maxey. I
That's
love
insane.
him. I love him so much. The fact that he fell to pick 21, I love Mike Muscala that much more. Shout out to him for hitting that amazing shot in the bubble to give the Sixers pick 21 and making the pick convey so that we could draft Tyrese Maxey. Joel Embiid has been hooping. Like, he has a new lease on energy and life, I think, since the system has left the building and gone to LA. Oh, did I mention the Clippers are 0-4 since the trade?
Yes. Fuck yes. Fuck you, James Harden. Fuck you, James Harden. I hate James Harden. He is the most overhyped waste of talent I've ever seen.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh my
It's a beautiful
god,
thing.
that
It's a
makes me
beautiful thing.
so happy, Kyle.
Sixers right now 8-1, number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Just real hoopers in the building. And I got to say, it truly is magical to see what happens when you have a competent head coach at the helm of a basketball team.
It makes a difference. It really does. from
Because
prior
Doc
experience.
Rivers was not a competent head basketball coach for the Philadelphia 76ers. And I know he got you guys a championship in 2008, but also look at the players that were on
Look
that
at
team.
the players. That team was winning. It didn't matter who was head coach.
Doc Rivers was the Joe Girardi of the NBA.
Ooh, that's a tough
I will
comparison.
stand by that until the day I
That's a
die.
Tough comparison.
And Nick Nurse has this team playing unbelievable basketball. From the young guys to the veterans. Pat Bev. I fucking love Patrick Beverley. I've loved Pat Bev when he was on other teams. And now that he's on my team, he is so fun to fucking root for.
He's the guy you want on your team to root for.
He
Absolute
is
dog.
ultimate vibes, ultimate culture, ultimate dog on the roster. Pulling Philly's daycare shenanigans like Bryson Stott and Brandon Marsh tonight, pouring water on Tyrese Maxey.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that clip.
Like, this team, dude, and I don't want to get fully suckered in because we do it every year. We've done it every year with this team. And they find a way to stab our hearts out in a brand new way. But this team, they feel different than other teams have. And I know it's November.
You're really getting it. Yeah, you're really getting ahead
I
of yourself.
know it's November. But they just, like, this is the most fun I've had watching Sixers basketball at any point since the 2018 season. Like,
Interesting.
this is fun basketball. This team is, like, the most likable team in terms of, like, guys on the roster that we've had since 2018, I think. And, you know, from Pat Bev, Tobias Harris is playing some of the best basketball he has in a Sixers uniform to start this year. Embiid looks like he's having fun. Maxey is just the ultimate vibes, fun, elite player. Kelly Oubre, first and foremost, too. Get well soon, brother. I'm glad things were not as serious as they could have been. Let's talk a little Kelly Oubre. Saturday night, Woj. I'm going to talk about a Woj bomb.
Yeah, hell of a Woj bomb.
Reports that Kelly Oubre was struck by a motor vehiclist. He didn't use that word. He should have. That's what happened. He was not hit by a car. He was hit by somebody driving a car. There's a difference. He was hit by a motor vehiclist.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like a car was just, you know, launched in the air and it hit Kelly Oubre. No, somebody was driving that car. Motor vehiclist hit Kelly Oubre. He was transported to the hospital. Broken rib, bruises on his leg, cuts, scratches that he's gonna have to recover from, and just like, right, like he literally got hit by a car. Like, it's gonna take a little bit of a lengthy process.
Gonna have to
recover from that.
Yeah,
could have been way worse. Thankfully, it wasn't. He was discharged last night from the hospital. They'll have a full update in about a week, they said, to see where he's at. I'm broken for him because he was playing arguably the best basketball of his career. There was a stat sheet was put out by one of those NBA accounts of like just numbers, statistics for players this year. Kelly Oubre is a top 25 player in the NBA this year based off statistics and shooting.
Really?
And he's on a vet minimum contract.
Wow.
Was playing elite basketball. Was it going to level out at some point? Sure. Yeah. That's just the NBA. But like Kelly Oubre fits the vibes of this team. I'm very happy he's here. I hope every bit of his recovery is smooth, easy, and successful. And Tyrese Maxey tonight getting interviewed after the game, they asked him, what went into your performance? He was like, that was all for Kelly. This fucking team, man. This fucking team.
This team is all like, feels like it is a little different now that the system has left. It feels like the locker room is a lot more close, and they have a lot better chemistry, just from an outside perspective.
And I mean, like, the chemistry, it's so obvious. Like, the way the ball moves on the court, I haven't seen the Sixers move the ball like that since Brett Brown was here as the coach, which was 2018. He was obviously the coach through the process, but, like, this team is just playing unreal basketball. Spike Eskin wrote a column for the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast, basically telling Daryl Morey, don't trade for talent if you're going to make a trade towards the deadline or the rest of this season, if it's going to fuck up the vibes.
Yeah.
Talent alone doesn't win championships. Vibes help win championships to a degree. I mean, they didn't win, but look at the vibes of the Phillies the last 2 years. Look at the vibes of the Eagles last year and this year. Look at the vibes of the 2017 Eagles, who did win a championship. Look at the vibes of the 2008 Phillies, who won a championship.
2013 Red Sox, 2004 Red Sox.
Like, vibes
Cowboy
matter.
Up. Like,
vibes matter. So,
some might argue vibes over talent.
Put it on a shirt.
I think we know somebody who could do that. So
we might have to do that.
We might vibes greater than talent. Sixers, I need that shirt so bad now. I'd wear the shit out of that
undefeated
shirt.
At home. They're 6-0 at home. Home court advantage kind of matters. And they've talked about how they want to win the in-season tournament too. And
you want to explain. Cool. You want to explain the in-season tournament to me, because I went upstairs on Friday night, and Dickie Pitts is up in arms about why the court looks different and why we're not using the parquet. And he was like, "Can you explain it to me?" And I actually verbatim described what you described, I think the last time we were on this show, about what the in-season tournament is, and like the guidelines, whatever. Group stage, round robin, all that, all those key terms. And he looked me dead in the eye and goes, "That you helped me. You did not help me. You didn't help me at all with that." I'm like, well, that's what I know. So
the TLDR of the in-season tournament, the too long didn't read, it's to get fans invested in the NBA before Christmas. That's what it is. They're never going to say that, but that's what it is. That's why it's happening in November, because nobody pays attention to the NBA until Christmas starts. That's when everybody says, "Oh, that's the unofficial start date for basketball across the board. It's Christmas Day, because you have the Christmas Day lineup. It feels like a big event, yada, yada, yada." The in-season tournament, it tipped off on Friday, November 3rd, and goes through Saturday, December 9th. That's when the championship is. these games are still regular season games that count towards your regular season record as well. Your Tuesday, it happens on Tuesdays and Fridays. Those games just have an enhanced meaning because they count for your regular season and this in-season tournament. There's group play that all 30 teams are involved. They were randomly drawn into groups of 5 within their conference based on win-loss records from 2022-2023. There's a knockout round, which is 8 teams from the group stage will advance. So group stage, basically like if you're a soccer fan, it's like Champions League with everything from the Premier League, Serie A, and everything around Europe. It's like the World Cup type of situation. There's group stage. You make it out of group stage. Like if you win your group, you're moving on to the knockout round. So 8 teams will advance. The team with the best standing in group play in each of the 6 groups. So if you win your group, you're advancing to the knockout round. And then there's 2 wild cards, which is the team from each conference with the best record in group play that finished second in its group. So one team from the West, one team from the East that had the best record that didn't win their group. You're moving on. Then we have the knockout rounds, which is single elimination games in the quarterfinals played in your NBA team's market on Monday, December 4th and Tuesday, December 5th. And then there's a semifinals and a championship. I think both the semis and the championship are in Las Vegas. I want to move through to the end of it here. So the 4 teams that lose in the quarterfinals will each play a regular season game on Friday, December 8th against the opponent in their same conference to keep them playing. And then the in-season tournament prize pool is allocated to the players on the teams that participate in the knockout rounds, with allocations increasing depending on how far a team progresses. I think the winning team, each player gets $1 million.
So yeah, it's just all about incentive. That was my next question about incentives. So it's basically just an incentive for the players to make more money, not an incentive for the team.
Pretty much, and it's a incentive for the league to have TV ratings and people buy tickets to Tuesday and Friday games in November and early December. They normally wouldn't.
Okay, so it's more of a business win rather than a basketball win.
Yeah, and I think it's something that, like, as it progresses, it could turn into something very fun. I think it's very cool. It doesn't take away from the NBA.
Oh, yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree with that.
And it just makes it so that Tuesdays and Fridays, that's in-season tournament. Could the in-season tournament have a better name? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's cool that we have these games that have elevated meaning, and you could go on, and the only way you're playing in any extra game is if you make it to the championship. It's one extra game than your 82 game regular season schedule. Yeah. So I like it. Sixers right now are 1-0 in the tournament. Next game is on Tuesday.
Celtics are too.
So we'll see how that progresses. I think it's cool, and I mean the Sixers are just hooping right now, and it's fun to have fun basketball. It's been a while since I've had the feeling of fun basketball with the Sixers. Been a long time. And the vibes are good. Robert Covington is a Sixer, and
that's all that matters.
It's just fun basketball again. Joel Embiid feels like he's having fun playing basketball. I saw the NBA tweet a stat too for Joel's last 8 games since the Sixers have gone on this win streak. I'm gonna pull it up here because it is pretty insane, to see Joel starting out the season like this. Where's it at? Well, this was a crazy stat to me too. Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey were the first pair of teammates since 1997-1998 to each record 25-plus points in the first half.
Ooh, would it be Kobe and Shaq?
I would
98.
assume 97, 98. They didn't say who it was in the tweet, but that's a long time since that happened.
That is a long time ago.
I also want to pull up here. So yeah, Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid's performance tonight joins the first duo to do it. So they're the fourth pair of teammates to do it in the play-by-play era, which is since 97-98. So that's when the era started. So they're the fourth duo to do it. The first time was 2012.
All right.
The Houston Rockets, Chandler Parsons, and the system.
Oh, that's so
Then
gross.
in 2017, Stephen Clay. And then Pascal Siakam and Gary Trent Jr. did it for the Raptors in 2022.
Gary Trent Jr. That seems like a fake person. Absolutely feels like a fake person.
This stat. I don't know who posted it. Because it is a crazy Embiid stat for how he has started the season. Joel had 37 points tonight in a game where Tyrese Maxey also had 50. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Where is this at? It was all of his stats from this season so far in those 8 games. I'm gonna be so annoyed if I can't find this.
I'm with you. I believe in you.
Let me do NBA on ESPN. They might have posted it, maybe. Nope, I don't know where it's at. Let me see. So Embiid had 37 tonight. Crazy. I mean, next game is against the Pacers on Tuesday, so they'll play them again at the Wells Fargo Center, this time in-season tournament style. I mean, It's just good vibes. It's good vibes when your basketball team is winning.
Yeah. Even better when your football team wins too.
That too.
Yeah, only you know about that.
Where? Maybe it was ESPN Stats and Info posted it. Maybe.
That's a good guess.
So determined to find the stat, guys, and I know this makes
horrific
podcast.
No, you're so in. I'm just waiting for you because I believe that you're gonna find it.
Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts.
You're gonna stop looking for it, and then you're gonna find it.
I know that's totally going to be what happens, and that's gonna drive me even crazy.
That would be more insane. that would just be completely on brand.
Last 8 games.
You got it. I believe in you.
Come on.
Use that old noggin of yours. You're going to find it.
I have it here because I have his stats from tonight. Here we go. So his last 7 games, not including tonight, which tonight Joel finished with 37 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists.
Not bad.
So from the beginning of the streak to there, 33 points, 16 rebounds, 2 blocks, 27 points, 10 rebounds, 4 blocks, 48 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 26 points, 11 rebounds and a block, 28 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists,
Jesus.
35 points, 15 rebounds, 6 blocks, 34 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, and then tonight 37, 13, and 7.
Jesus Christ, dude's on a tear.
He is on real Hooper hours. All while James Harden's missing game-tying three-pointers.
Well, of course he is.
Absolutely demolished in the face by the Memphis Grizzlies, who are...
Ew!
They're terrible.
Ew.
They lost to the Grizzlies tonight, 105.
That's so gross, dude. Like, that's so on brand too.
It's so great.
That's incredible.
Tobias Harris, 18 points tonight. That's pretty fucking good
That is not bad.
for Toby. That's good usage there for a game where Embiid and Maxey combined for 87.
It's the same amount
And
of points that both these teams have in Sunday Night Football.
87 points from those two, and we still put up 137.
Wow.
Let's shift to the other team that plays in the Wells Fargo Center. It's brought to you by our pals over at Tomahawk Shades, the best small batch eyewear in the game. Get your blue light glasses, your sunglasses, because we all subscribe to the notion that you need sunglasses more in the winter than you do in the summer sometimes.
Absolutely. I wear
It is
mine.
bright as hell.
I wear mine every day.
Download the Tomahawk Shades app. Get your sunglasses, your blue light glasses. The ski goggles should be back in stock pretty soon before you know it. And when you go to checkout, use code USP for 25% off your order from our pals at Tomahawk Shades. That's tomahawkshades.com, or download the Tomahawk Shades app and use code USP for 25% off your order. Pitsy the Flyers yesterday, big 4-2 win over the LA Kings. They beat the Ducks on Friday 6-3.
Hey.
They did the funniest thing ever and allowed the Sharks to snap their 10 goals given up streak and lost to the Sharks 2-1 because that's just what the Flyers do. But 2 wins in a row. That's big time stuff. Owen Tippett, my guy, he's a stud. For anybody who doesn't know who Owen Tippett is, he is like the prized prospect that the Flyers got in return from the Florida Panthers when we traded Claude Giroux. So it's only fitting that the next iteration of the Flyers Ginger Brigade is a superstar. And I'm a big Owen Tippett guy, big Bobby Brink guy, and I've always been a Travis Konechny guy. As everybody knows, TK's my dog, but my new dogs, my pups, if you will, are Owen Tippett and Bobby Brink. They're balling. Flyers in the standings, not exactly where you'd expect them, I think, right now. They are tied with the Devils in points and only 6 points out of first place in the Metropolitan Division. Look at that.
Not too bad.
Look at that. Who would have thunk? And guess what?
Waves.
Positive goal differential.
Oh, we love a good positive goal differential.
And you know who doesn't have a positive goal differential? The Devils, the Capitals, negatives. You know who only has a +2 goal differential? The Carolina Hurricanes. Who do the Flyers play next? The Carolina Hurricanes. I love relaxed, no stakes hockey.
No, it's the best. You can just go out there and play.
Like
no expectations.
Like for you and the Bruins, there's expectations there.
Well, yeah,
especially after the letdown that you guys went through last year.
Oh, last year. That was ridiculous.
So there's expectation there. So it's like a different type of entertainment for you.
Mm-hmm.
With the Flyers, there's no stakes. There's no expectation. And it is one of the coolest experiences of a sports fandom that you can have. Because it's not, it is a rebuild to a degree, but there's talent on the team. It's not like they tore it all the way down and have nothing to put out there. They have talent on this team. They'll recoup talent at the trade deadline when they more than likely trade Cam Atkinson if they're out of it. But this team, you can just sit back, relax, and whatever happens, you can have a good laugh, or it's like, holy shit, they're playing really well.
Yeah. That's the best place to be in if you're the Flyers right now.
And I love that Morgan Frost flipped the double bird Torts after Torts was not playing him for whatever godforsaken reason. Morgan Frost is ultimate hockey name, first of all.
That is
second of all,
great hockey
he's
name.
good. And he's like a volume shooter in the NBA. Morgan Frost is a volume skater in hockey. The more he's out there, the better he's going to be. He needs to be out there. The other night, scored 2 goals. Look at that. Play the kids. Look at kids.
Just some motherfucking kids.
Think of the kids.
Kids.
But Morgan Frost was like, yeah, you're not taking me out of the lineup anymore. Scored 2 goals. Looked good. That's the fun part about this Flyers team. I am thoroughly enjoying hockey from a distance. I'm not locked in and full blown, sitting down for 60 minutes plus intermissions to watch the Flyers. But I'm tuning in here and there. If they're on, I'll flip them on and watch and enjoy it. I'm looking at highlights on the tweet machine. But like that's fun. Like to be able to just kind of sit back and relax and like not have to worry is really cool for the first time with this Flyers team in my lifetime.
Would like that, but can't be doing that up in Beantown. So I envy you.
You got the big B's doing their thing, first place.
Well, they're crushing it. I don't have to worry because they're good. That's a difference. I don't have to worry because there's a good hockey team that are going to crush through the regular season. We have to worry once April comes around.
I saw an interesting take Ryan Whitney had about when you can kind of tell who's a contender and who's a pretender in hockey. It's very early. He said you'll know if a team's in the mix and like ready for the season by Thanksgiving.
Really?
He was like,
that's really early.
That's when you'll know like how the playoffs are kind of going to shake out. He said, you'll have a team or two here in each conference in each division that sneaks in or, gets hot at a certain time and makes their way in. But by Thanksgiving, the way the standings kind of look is how it'll be come playoff time. So I think what we'll do is
let's test the theory out.
We'll test this theory. It'll be a running theory. Shout out Ryan Whitney. We'll see who's where in the standings in each division and each conference on Thanksgiving, and then look at it at the end of the regular season and see what correlates and what doesn't.
I'm all in for that experiment.
I think that'll be really interesting. So yeah, Flyers doing their thing. Next game is on the road. Yeah, they're on the road Wednesday against the Hurricanes before they come back home on the 18th, Saturday, day game against the Vegas Golden Knights. They have a back-to-back. They're also home on Sunday, November 19th against the Blue Jackets. Black Friday hockey, too. I love that.
Oh, we love some good Black Friday hockey.
Friday,
after Thanksgiving.
Black Friday, 1 o'clock. Whew,
oh, that sounds great.
Machi. At the Flyers Rangers.
Well, that should be a good game.
Is it weird? Does it feel like the Flyers should have been an original 6 team?
Oh, I thought they were.
No. It was the Bruins, the Red Wings, Maple Leafs, Blackhawks, Canadians.
And Red Wings.
I said them. Who's the 6th team that I'm missing?
Bruins, Maple Leafs, Blackhawks, Red Wings, Canadians. Rangers? That's 6.
Yeah, that's who I was forgetting. It was the Rangers, and I just said them.
Yeah, Rangers. Yeah, that's 6.
Canadians, Maple Leafs, Bruins, Blackhawks, Red Wings, Rangers. It feels like the Flyers are one of those teams, though.
What would they be, 7, you think?
Well, the Flyers didn't come into the league till late.
Like when?
I want you to try and guess when the Flyers were founded.
1976.
They won a Stanley Cup that year.
Okay, so 1969.
So the Flyers came into the NHL in 1967.
All right, pretty close.
Then they won, or I'm sorry, they didn't win in 76. They won 73-74 and then 74-75.
Okay.
They went back-to-back, and then we haven't won since.
Yikes. That's
Came
tough.
close. Should have beat the Blackhawks in 2010.
Was that after you Yankees us?
Yeah.
That's tough.
That was a good time. I remember where
I
was
one
for
side
that.
of it.
That was one of the more visual hockey memories that I have.
Oh,
Simone
thank God.
Gagne scored that fucking nuclear missile of a goal.
That's another Flyer I hate. Is Simone Gagne. I hate
love
him.
Simone Gagne. He was
Of
like
course you
childhood
do.
hero hockey player.
No, childhood enemy.
You know who's coming back for the Flyers alumni classic?
Jeremy Roenick.
No. Mike Richards,
Oh, really?
the cocaine bear.
He's got to promote the movie.
Came out last year.
Yeah, there was a strike. He couldn't promote it. There's some promotion time he's got to make up.
I was stunned to see that Mike Richards is making his return to a Flyers event.
That is pretty funny.
Flyers are fun, man. I love fun Flyers.
We do.
I really want to get some Flyers on this show. It'd be so fun. Hockey guys feel like they like, just from my lacrosse background at least, like feel.
Oh, they're much more toned down than lacrosse
for sure. But I feel like when you get them in a comfortable situation and just like slinging it, like
they're so the fun. Fucking best. Hanging out with hockey guys at school, they just are the most down to earth people. Once you treat them like a human and not like this larger than life celeb on campus, they're just normal dudes. And some of the funniest. Prisky? Yeah. I love Prisky. Him. I mean, Devontae's Stanley Cup winner.
Yeah, fuck the Blackhawks.
He's on the Avalanche. He might be on the Blackhawks now.
Didn't he win one with the Blackhawks though?
No, Avalanche. Taves was on the Avalanche. And then Cliffy.
I'm thinking somebody else.
Yeah, you are. And then my boy Cliffy up in Buffalo right now.
Cliffy sounds like a Nick Jr. character.
It does. It sounds like Bluey's best friend.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Exactly.
The Bluey theme song is one of the most catchy theme songs of a generation.
That's got to be sent to me. I don't think I've heard it.
So I got to remember here at 1 minute and 31 seconds, I need to mute the YouTube.
Okay.
Bluey. It's a banger.
That does slap. I get down with that.
That harmonica slaps.
Harmonica, very underappreciated instrument.
So good. Shout out to Bluey. Let's get to Brink Bonk Bump, brought to you by our pals over at FOCO. Guys, you saw me wearing the Phillies overalls all red October. The birds are looking good, and guess what? They've got plaid Eagles overalls that you can get. They're beautiful. They look amazing. Go get them. I might have to get them because those overalls are so gosh dang comfy. It's unbelievable. Click the link in the description. Get your overalls. Get your collectibles. Everything you can think of. Apparel. FOCO's got it. Pitts, I was perusing their website. You know how you and I both love vintage-looking, like 90s, late 80s
it's the best.
Sports shirts?
The best.
They've got them.
Okay.
They've got them. With the football helmet on them. They look so clean. I need them all. And they're white, so my thought, get one that's white, and then get one to tie-dye.
Oh, a tie-dye, yeah. I don't know how to tie-dye.
Get a black and gray tie-dye going on with the Eagles helmet.
It's mint.
Good
It'd be minty.
night.
It'd be minty fresh.
Shout out to the homies over at FOCO. For Brink, Bonk, Bump, Pitsy. It was quite the week in one category here. But your Brink of the week, and if you're new to the pod, Brink, Bonk, Bump is the equivalent to Fuck, Marry, Kill, just using Flyers prospect names. Bobby Brink, Oliver Bump, and Oliver Bonk, I'm sorry, and I'm forgetting who Bump is. I will look that up, but basically Brink means who was money that week, who was the star of the week. Bonk kind of obvious who was horny on
Who's
main.
horny?
And then bump is who needs to sit down, have a seat, ride the bump, and take a chill pill. You gotta relax. So Pitsy, who was your Alex bump? Is on bump. So it's Bobby Brink, Oliver Bonk, Alex Bump. Dream guests, all three of them. For the
All
show,
three.
for obvious reasons. And you know this segment has awesome approval because I told former Underground Sports Philadelphia employee and always friend of the program, Brooke Destra, about it, and she was like, "That's amazing."
The peeps love it. The peeps love our content.
So Pitsy, last week, your Brink was Logan Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Who's following Logan's footsteps and taking home the Brink of the week?
The CW network. Yep. Because Kyle, the CW network just made a deal with WWE to bring NXT, the AAA program for any WWE fans, to that network to be broadcasted on, taking it away from USA. And it's a multi-million-dollar deal, whatnot. But most importantly, it brings wrestling back to CW, which a lot of people remember CW as UPN, and SmackDown was on UPN during its heyday. So now we're bringing it back. We're getting it back on cable television, bigger audience to attest to. And it just hammers home my point that wrestling is so fucking back that I'm trying to get everyone on the wave now so that you don't look like a bandwagon fan in a few years when it's already back and popular. Just saying. Especially with it coming to Philly. We had Charlotte Flair ringing the bell. I mean, woo!
My Brink of the week. It's got to be tonight. Tyrese Maxey, man. He's been real hooper hours all year long. He's just continued to take steps forward to be that guy. He's got that dog in him. Tyrese Maxey is my Brink. He has been money, and to put up a 50 burger to start off the week is a beautiful thing. Pitsy, we got a lot of nominees. Should we go through the nominees alone?
I think because one of the nominees, I think, would be, and the other is just another wrestling one, so go through it.
So the nominees this week for Bonk of the Week. We ran it back. Timberwolves Brazil, once again, nominee.
Coming up the rear.
Pause. You just made the list.
You just made the list!
Moving right along here. Bill Belichick was a nominee for Bonk of the Week, getting caught on the ring cam, doing a walk of shame. Also on Bonk of the Week, the Atlanta Hawks official Twitter account.
Official. Keep them on
the official. They had a yellow check mark. Only Hawks fans know where the real action is. Eyeball emoji. And then there's a link. And the Atlanta Hawks mascot just being sultry and seductive in a bed. Yeah, horny. Also horny. The Twitter user. Oh, no. Oh, here it is. At NEVISXO. Simply because they saved the image that Kira at Kira Won't Miss on Twitter, who has the Danny Phantom Twitter Abby, everybody, who said whoever made that AI generated image of Oscar the Grouch blowing Taylor Swift's back on a pile of garbage is going to hell. That Nevis XO saved the photo and tweeted it as a response to Kira. Why did you save that photo in your phone, pal? Exponential levels of horny. We're not done with nominees this week. This was a horny week online.
This was so horny.
T.O. and Chad Johnson on Instagram Live
That's
reminiscing about a 17-woman 12-hour orgy that they had together. We also have a nominee. I want to say this was a college football game. I don't remember what game, but there was a guy in the stands who had a jersey. This was also go under the file of guys being dudes. Number 69, nameplate Thundercock.
I don't care how old I am. That is funny every time. Just the 69. I love boobs. Thundercock. Just any horny name like that on the back of a jersey just always plays.
Now, Pitts, I got to ask, because this would be the first time this has happened, so we got to set a precedent. If a horny nominee in the bonk category gets community noted, is it still eligible?
I mean, community noted.
Like, you know how on Twitter the community notes show up to show you if something's not legit, people can submit community notes on it and tell you what it actually is. So one of the nominees got
I would
community
say
noted.
it has to depend on, like, if the community note is like this story is false, then no, it's gone. But like if the community note is like this picture is not for work or something, then no, it stays.
It was a security camera of a guy with a baseball bat and a ski mask breaking into a store to steal a sex doll, to which was brought to the timeline on the For You page of Kira saying, "Do you know how criminally horny you have to be to do this shit?" It got community noted and said, misleading, it's a mannequin, not a sex doll.
No, even worse. That's even worse. If you were stealing a mannequin, a sex doll is one thing. Where like, okay, haha, mannequin, that is like dark horny. I think it plays.
Still nominated.
It's still nominated, and we just because that's a different type of horny. I don't want to know.
And then the last nominee is a weird horny. The TikTok edit of the mailman of the Utah Jazz with Jen Ortega.
Oh my!
They always want to fuck the
God.
15-year-old.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
God, dude. They just put the mailman on blast.
That
God.
tweet prompt, though, is hilarious because you will find so many funny TikTok edits from that. For anybody that's not familiar, Kofi, who's a hilarious Twitter follow, tweeted last week, TikTok is great because you could just be scrolling and then get shown Ben Wallace MF Doom highlights.
Bro, it's so true.
And the amount of quote tweets and responses of different, like, absurd NBA athletes with hilarious music compilations. The best one, though, is the guy, Kelly Oubre. Someone did his when he was with the Suns. There's an Instagram live of him saying, "All right, let's go." And he starts singing I Write Sins, Not Tragedies by Panic at the Disco.
Oh, yeah.
And then it shifts into Panic at the Disco over his highlights. It goes hard. It goes hard.
I need to watch that. I need to watch that one.
It goes hard. I will send it to you after we finish recording because it goes hard in the paint. Pitsy, your bonk of the week, though, is the former Bengals receivers.
It
Tio
was
and Ocho Cinco.
But no, yeah. If we're gonna go strictly off nominees, I'll go that one because, dude, that's 12 hours. I mean,
that's wild. And to publicly talk about that is
publicly
crazy.
talking about it
On Instagram Live.
Like it's the Geneva Convention is just something out of left field.
I want to be in the room where it happened, the room where it happened.
discussing that ass like it's the Council of Trent.
Mr. Terrell, sir.
Mr. Burr, sir. Ocho Cinco, sir. Oh my god, dude, that's my pick. Oh, that's easily my pick.
It's the first and 10 commandments.
No eye contact with your best bro. Number 2.
Run the route. Number 3.
Bro.
Oh, we are absurd.
I'm dead, dude.
Oh,
This was my favorite.
That's
thing of the week.
hilarious. My bonk is we had a lot of nominees this week. I gotta tell you, it's a tough week to be nominated for bonk of the week. But I think it's gotta go to Taylor Swift, Oscar the Grouch.
I still haven't
Nevis-
seen it, and I
Nevis
don't want to
Exo.
say that I do.
Oh, brother, you shouldn't have said that.
I think, I think I should have just. Are you sending it to me now so we can get
Oh,
a
yeah.
live react?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Because it's absurd. To which I'm sending you the next image that is underneath this response of it. That said, they should have never given y'all AI.
What? Wait, whoa, okay, whoa. His eyes are bugging way too high. Like, I can't believe I'm looking at
on
it.
all his trash. Like, what are we doing?
That was so much.
The
That
follow-up image, did you see?
Yeah, dude, that's my reaction. It's just-
That caption said they should have never given y'all AI.
bro, I'm sending this to my group chat. Just no comment. Just no comment. Just throwing it out there and just seeing what I get.
Yeah, at Nevis XO, welcome to the Bonk Club, pal.
Welcome to the Bonk Club.
Pitsy, your bump of the week. Who needs to take a seat? Who's got to ride the bump?
Dude, my sinus infection is killing me. All right, my nose needs to take a seat. I mean, as you've already seen, I've been blowing my nose this episode. I was out on the sales call this week, and my nose just constantly running, like whatever. Like I gotta go get it checked out.
You gotta go catch it.
So so I had to go. So I had to go to urgent care. And I'm like, yeah, like my nose, like it just has been the same for like a week and a half. Like, like to see someone there, they go, all right, well, it's gonna be a 2-hour wait. I went F all that. I put in my name for a reservation because apparently you make reservations at the doctor's office now, similar to dinner for the next day. So I went home, slept for a bajillion
Tap or
hours.
sparkling?
That's what they greet you with in the lobby. And then I had to go back the next day. Went and got it checked out and was in and out. That's what I actually love about urgent care. I was in and out in like 15 minutes after I took an hour and a half nap in the lobby. And then I come home and I've just been on medicine, haven't been doing anything all week. And it would have been a nice weekend to go out, but we're stuck inside.
My bump is distracted drivers. They need to take a seat and not be driving distracted because the fact that we had a 6'7" human get hit by a distracted driver is crazy.
It is
distracted
insane.
driving is like at an all-time high. We don't prioritize it. Things could have been way worse. Thankfully, they weren't. Like Kelly Oubre's got a young daughter. Like that's crazy to like think of what could have happened.
Yeah.
So distracted driving, get your shit together. Like consequences are extremely high. You're operating a motor vehicle. Pay attention to what you're doing. Distracted drivers. You get my bump of the week. So to recap, The Brink, Pitts is the CW network. His bonk, T.O. and Ocho. And his bump, his own nose.
Oh no.
Got your nose.
Mother Nature got my nose, man.
My brink is Tyrese Maxey. My bonk is at NevisXO on the tweet machine. And then my bump is distracted driving. And Pitsy, I thought of a good way for us to wrap up episodes.
Nice, okay.
We've got this fancy little wheel in the studio now.
We do.
I think we start a Google sheet. We spin the wheel at the end of every show. We keep track of the wheel color that gets spun. See how many times it gets spun. And how many times you predict the color.
Oh, okay. I got you. So we have to predict.
We'll keep track of what color it is, how many times it has been spun, and then how many times you've gotten it correctly.
Okay.
So I'm going to make a colors tab and then Pitt's guess tab and a date tab. All right. So the colors on the wheel, I'm going to record this because we're going to do it bootleg because this is on the fly. We didn't talk about doing this at all.
I love on the fly segments like this.
We'll have a better setup for the wheel in the future.
Sorry, I just said that. I'm just looking at the Oscar the Grouch thing again.
The amount of times we talked about Oscar the Grouch.
Dude, Oscar the Grouch should just be a guest at this point. No, I sent it to my friend Martina, and she's gonna wake up to that text in the morning. And
Wake me up!
I cannot wait for that.
Talk about the blank space. Pitsy, for everybody at home, if you're just listening, recommend watching on the YouTube. The color selections on this wheel: red, blue, green, yellow, violet, and like a magenta purple.
Okay.
So, Pitsy, your first color selection in show history.
Going green. Going my favorite color.
Pitsy's selection is green. It is blue. Blue is the color.
Damn it.
Um,
What'd you pick?
I did not pick because I was spinning.
Oh.
Should I also be picking?
I thought you were gonna pick too, but I'll just do it. That's
okay.
Fine.
We'll nullify. We'll nullify that one. That one doesn't count. Like I said, we're doing this on the fly.
I want you.
I'll
to
have a pick as well.
Yeah, the champ needs to include all his peeps.
You're right. I miscalculated that. Okay. We'll restart. That was just a test.
I'm still going green.
That was a test run. So Pitsy, your color selection?
I'm going green again.
I'm gonna go red.
All right.
So green and red. Here is the official first spin. Oh my god, I thought I was going to get it. It landed on magenta.
Magenta is the first one. All right.
So magenta is the first one. Pitsy picked green. I picked red. Today's pod date is 11/13/2023. The actual color was magenta. And there it is. I feel like this will be a fun little bit that we can do.
I hope it is.
That's all we got for you guys on this one. Make sure you're following us on the socials at Underground PHI, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook.com/UndergroundSportsPHI, Twitch.tv/UndergroundSportsPHI. I also figured out my internet issues.
Nice.
Which is going to cost me $200. But shout out to Bill from Xfinity for giving me the right rundown of what we need to fix our internet here. We're going to have hardwired internet soon, Pitts.
Oh, that's huge.
Hardwired in the studio. Shout out to Bill from Xfinity. No free shout outs. But follow us on the socials. Follow Pitsy on Twitter at Pat_Pitts. Follow me at KBIZZL311. Subscribe to the pod feed on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. It really does help. Subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, youtube.com/@undergroundsportsphiladelphia. We are currently, as of this recording, at 625 subscribers, 75 more. We got a subscriber during the recording. That's what matters.
It's huge. It's huge.
Go subscribe. Let's get to 700 before Thanksgiving. Let's make that happen. That's the dream. That's the goal. Help us reach our goals. When we reach goals, you guys also reach goals. And we aren't able to do this stuff without you guys. So go subscribe if you aren't subscribed already. Get your merch, phiapparel.co, code underground for 10% off your order. And this podcast is presented by the City of Vineland. And whether you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process, and their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. Big week coming up. Shout out to the Fighting Clan of Vineland as well. The football team got another game on Thursday against the school formerly known as Woodrow Wilson, now known as Camden East. Get a dub there. The worst we can finish is at 500, or we can finish above 500 in our coworker slash podcast host, Coach Guzman's first year as a head coach. So let's get it done, boys. Thursday night at Catone Stadium. Let's go. New Guzman's Gridiron coming out this week as well. This has been episode number 585 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. For Pitsy, I'm KB. We're getting the heck up out of here, and we are signing off.